What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel, where today we are going to be taking a look at the Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Grimlock. Now, this is a re-release of the original Grimlock figure, which I'm really happy they did, because that original figure goes for, like, crazy prices. And this one I got, like, as soon as it came out, and I was really happy with it, because I really wanted the original one. As you can see from what I've looked up on the original one, it has the same backdrop as the original one, just with the yellow for the Buzzworthy Bumblebee and the little BB for Buzzworthy Bumblebee over there. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool backdrop. I think Grimlock looks really nice in it. As you can see here, we'll be taking a look at the box. Sorry, my area is kind of cramped. But here we have the box with a nice picture of Grimlock on the front. Some of the standard Buzzworthy Bumblebee pictures there. 07, because that's his Studio Series number. Then on this side, we get the same picture of Grimlock that we got on the front. And then on the back, we get some good product shots of him, both in his robot and his dino mode. And then his dino mode on the backdrop. 30 steps to convert between both forms. And then we just have the finished little pictures of that on that side. So yeah, there's that. Now, to take a look at the figure himself, I think he looks really great. As you can see, here, let me just move my lights real quick so I can get my hands in. He's quite a big figure, which my review space is kind of cramped, so it's kind of hard to get him in here, especially with my camera that I'm using on my phone. But yeah, he's really great. I think they primarily focused on getting this robot mode as accurate as possible. If you look, he has the mace hand that he had in the movie, and he just looks very nice. He looks like he jumped right out of the screen. My only thing that I would have wanted with him would be his big mace-like weapon. I'm not sure what you would call it. Kind of like a staff or whatever. I think he'd be really cool if you just had him holding it right there. Yeah. I think you could get him into some really cool poses with it if we had it included. But yeah. Now turning to the detail portion of this video, you can see the face sculpt on this figure looks really nice. Let me just zoom in there. Look at that. If that's not as accurate to the movie as you can get, I don't know what is. That thing looks immaculate. Then you come to the dino heads. They actually have little red eyes on both dino heads, front and back, which I thought was a really nice attention to detail, keeping it symmetrical, of course. And then you have the torso, which you can see have some teeth there, both sides. I think the detail on this has been sculpted really good. You get some more detail on the arms right here, which I think looks nice. Then you can see the little metallic wash that they've applied over the arm. The mace is just gray plastic, but I still think it looks pretty good. Not too out of place. Come to the other arm. Same details right there. Then you have, let me see if I can grab it. You have the hand. It's just gray plastic again, but I think it looks really nice. And then this is kind of silvery again. And then you come down to the skirt section. You got that nice little metallic wash applied over it again. And then you got this, which I really like the spikes on the side of the knees. Or not knees, the legs. I think it looks nice. I think the feet look pretty good too. The only kibble on this would have to be the arms / bottom jaw right here on this arm. And then just the feet down there, like the dino feet. They don't transform at all. But other than that, I think it looks really nice. As you can see, after I zoom out of my camera, right, he has like no backpack, which I think just furthers how good this figure is. Now turning to articulation. As you can see, the head is on a ball joint. You can look up, down, and you can kind of utilize this transformation little thing. And it can go side to side, tilt, do everything you want. It can look down too, which I thought was really nice, especially for someone of Grimlock scale, to be able to look down on everyone. Not metaphorically, but figuratively. A little bit like that. What's the word? Forget it. You know what I mean. And then, shoulders are on ratchet joints. They can go all the way around, except the horns sometimes do bump into the torso, so you're going to want to check that. Due to transformation, this little thing can wiggle. You do have this, can turn all the way around, full 360. The elbow can bend forward. And then the shoulder can rotate out, or hinge out, I guess, about that far before it gets impeded by that. And then on this hand, basically everything's the same, except for the hand you do get some wrist rotation, which I thought was really nice. Then, moving on down, you do have these skirt pieces which can hinge out of the way and stuff to accommodate for more movement. You do have, so if you want the legs to go forward, lift that up. These ones are kind of more like in their like set, but you can kind of move them. Go forwards that far. Sorry, sneeze. If you hinge this back, they can go back pretty far. And then they go out to the side till there, till like this starts impeding. And then you get a knee, which is ratcheted as well. If you use the transformation joint, you can pull it out. And you get such a more range of motion. But it looks kind of weird. It looks like you're kind of breaking him. Click that back in. The knee spikes are on hinges right there. And then, let's figure this out, get it back there. And then you come down to the feet. I'm going to tilt the figure a bit because cramped space. They're on ball joint, so they can go up, down, rock side to side, and they can turn all around, mainly for transformation. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the articulation. Now here for a quick comparison in robot mode, you have the new Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Grimlock compared to the old Age of Extinction Grimlock that I got many years ago. And it's quite the improvement in my opinion. The only thing that this guy has up on this guy, I would say, is he actually has the weapon. I wish he had a weapon. But no, he's the one with a weapon. If he had a weapon, then I feel like he'd be like the perfect Grimlock. Like more so than he already is. Not to knock him. I really like him. But he's just like, he's on a different level. And here for a fun little comparison, we have the Studio Series Grimlock compared next to the Studio Series Galvatron. And as you can see, he completely dwarfs him. He just looks down on little Galvatron trying to shoot him. I think this works because, as you know, Grimlock's supposed to be bigger than Galvatron. And can I just say, both of these guys look stunning. Like, if I just turn this guy around, like, dang, they look really great together. Honestly, I think Age of Extinction has some of my favorite Transformers designs. Like, dang, they are just so cool. And now we shall turn to the transformation segment. I got a different camera angle because I switched up my setup for my camera, so hopefully this will work out better, especially considering how big this guy is. Pretty sure he's the biggest studio series that we have to date, which is pretty legit. Anyways, transform him. You're going to want to take this at the top, just push it down in there, okay? And then I like to transform the chest very first, so you're going to take out and latch this from there, and then this will rotate around, so rotate it till it stops, and then you just push it back in. So there's that transformed up there, and then you take this arm, rotate it that way, make sure it's ratcheted up as high as you can against that, okay? Kind of bend that in, it's kind of facing the torso. Then you're going to come here to the tail, grab this spike, and just hinge it out until it clicks. And then take this dino head, and it splits in half. And just fold it down like that. Doesn't tab in anywhere, it just kind of sits there. We're then going to lift this up, kind of hinge these pieces down so that we can rotate the torso like that. Take this dino head over here, lift up and untab it from where it's held and like pull it out. You're gonna take this, swivel it at the bicep, and then you're gonna take this arm, fold it in on itself at the elbow, and then there's a little groove up in there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Probably not. But there's a groove in there that this is going to go into. So what I like to do is make sure everything's straight. I like to put the hand up in here and then focus on getting that groove in there, and it locks all of this in there. Okay? And then what you're going to want to do, take the arms out, fold the top jaw, or bottom jaw, not bad. Fold it out. And these two are gonna, there's tabs there on the top jaw, go into little slots down there on the bottom jaw. So just make sure to line everything up. If I can get it to go in. Make sure I got it on both sides. Fix the backdrop that I accidentally pumped in. Okay, so there's that, the main body of the dinosaur. And then, so you're going to want to come here to the legs, and you see how there's like a little split here? So if you pull out on the legs, it kind of takes a bit of force, but they untab from each other and from inside, like the main body. So just pull out the other leg. Kind of takes a bit of force, and then you're going to want to rotate this, and this tab right here is going to go into this slot right here. So you just tab that in there, if I can get it. And then this is going to clip into in here, or like on the bottom, holds that in securely. And then come here to the foot, and you're gonna take the knee and you're gonna untab it from in there. So just do that. Boom, there's that. And come here to the foot. You're gonna wanna rotate this around so that the dino foot is facing forward. Then take the toe of the robot foot, and there's a little cavity here on the back of the leg. You're going to fold it in there. Okay, just do the same, all those steps over here. And this is the other leg. So take this tab in there, like so, and clip that in there. It already was clipped, apparently. And take the knee, untab that, rotate the foot, and then push in the toe, and then Gonna come here to the skirt section. I like to fold this up a little bit like that. I'm not sure if it says to do that in the instructions or not, but you just kind of fold it up over to the tail, which is not, it doesn't tab in, but it still holds pretty well. Then come here and just pose the dino arms, and fold that skirt section down, and there you have the dino mode. Looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. See if I can get him down more into frame here. Yeah, so I quite like his dino mode. I think it looks really nice. It's really big and menacing, as you would expect from his design. I also think there's like a lot of cool details on him. Like I really like the arms. They can pose. They're all on ball joints. If I can get my hands in here without knocking anything over. They're all on ball joints. They can move. They can lift up and down. The jaw only has one click for articulation. It goes. You can have it closed or slightly open. That's about it. Head does not move, unfortunately. But legs can move. They can kick backwards that far, which is pretty good. But it kind of looks kind of grotesque and goes straight. You do have these skirt sections, which you can angle however you want. You can have them out, you can have them in, you can have it like a mixture, you can just have them sticking up, whatever. All personal preference. And the tail can slightly move. It kind of can swivel that way, or hinge. But it kind of does move the dino head. Yeah. The only real kibble on this I've seen is like the mace ball or whatever right there, and then like the dino head. But all in all, I think it conceals really nicely. And you still get some of the cool silver wash over some of the parts. I think it looks really nice. Knees can still move. Or knee spikes, I guess. Yeah, I really like those. Now for a quick comparison, we have the Studio Series Grimlock compared to the original Age of Extinction Grimlock. And as you can see, he totally like dwarfs him. Like, he is huge. And the colors pop out, like, are way more accurate than compared to this one. He's just so tiny, like he could fit under him. Like, it's insane how big he is. And yeah, I think the Studio Series version just looks way better in terms of detail and stuff. But I still say that they're both pretty good figures. I'm not gonna lie. I like them both, and they're both pretty fun to play around, and I find myself converting both to robot and dino mode quite often. Here for another comparison, here we have the Studio Series Grimlock compared next to the Studio Series Galvatron. And I think the scale here works pretty good. I think they look pretty good along with each other. And I can't wait to get an Optimus Prime to put into this mix. Now for some final thoughts regarding the Studio Series Buzzworthy Bumblebee Grimlock. I really like this figure. And if you weren't able to get your hands on the original Grimlock from Studio Series, like me, I would highly suggest to get this because it looks stunning, and it completely like dwarfs all other Studio Series figures. So, yeah, in terms of cop or drop, definitely a cop. You gotta get this for yourself, guys. Like, dang, it's so cool and it's so fun to transform between modes. Both modes look really great. Also, they look great paired with the other Studio Series figures, especially from Age of Extinction. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you for watching, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.